writers. So this video is all about creative writing and the senses, using your senses to act as inspiration to get you writing. Use pictures and photos from books, magazines, from the internet, from anywhere. Pictures on the wall, use pictures. Google particular subjects that interest you, like portraits, nature, seascapes, whatever appeals and speaks to you. I use all of those. And sometimes I will look for something that perhaps doesn't particularly interest me, because that can also get some interesting writing going. So Google search. Better still, spend some time taking your own photos. Most of us have got mobile phones that take pictures now, so use that. Choose lots of different subject matter. Things in your home, in your garden if you have one. Pets, pictures of pets can act as a really good stimulus for writing. Go out for walks and take photos of the environment, nature, urban environments. Take photos of people with their permission, of course. Take photos of yourself, selfies. You can use the excuse, it's just for a bit of writing. I need it for a bit of writing. It's research, it's work. Selfies. Sit with your picture or photo, just one or a collection, and spend a bit of time really studying them, really becoming aware of what thoughts, feelings, words, memories, images, emotions they conjure up for you. Look at colours and shapes and anything that just sort of stands out to you, that reaches you, that touches you. Set yourself a period of time to write. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, longer, half an hour, whatever suits you and the way that you write and whatever feels right for you. And then start to write in whatever form the picture or photo has inspired for you. And it'd be really interesting to see if certain pictures actually lend themselves to different types of writing. So one picture might really make you feel like you want to write a poem, another a song, another might give you a great idea for a short story, a first chapter in a novel, or a bit of playwriting, a scene, a comedy sketch. Just see where it takes you. Listen to music. Choose different types of music, upbeat, sad, acoustic, orchestral, pop, classical music you know well, music you don't know at all. And the important thing is you don't have to like all the music. In fact, if you pick something that really doesn't appeal with you, that jars on you, it can produce some really, really interesting writing. The main thing is to tap into how it makes you feel, how it makes you think, what words come to you when you do put it down in writing. It's a great starting point for writing creatively or even therapeutically. I once run a group where we played lots of different kinds of music, and there was a certain piece of classical music that was, the title was some kind of battle or war. I can't remember it now. I should do really, but I can't remember it. I'm sorry. But it was very sort of military, and it conjured up lots of warlike images for people, which many of the participants in the group didn't really like those images, but did some great writing from it nevertheless, because they were sort of images that made them feel something. Whereas other people actually, it made them feel sort of like upbeat and energetic, so it had different effects on people. But most of the people in the group, even those who felt more sort of upbeat with the beat, didn't like the actual music, and it produced some great writing. So try it out. You can use all your senses in this way: looking, listening, touching, smelling and tasting. Part of your everyday life. It's all there. Use it. I'll often be inspired to write something because of something I catch sight of or see going on, or sounds of music that I hear. A memory will come to me because I've smelled an aroma of something. I often give the example of cigar smoke often makes me think of my father at Christmas, because he'd occasionally have a cigar at Christmas when I was young, and imperial leather soap, because my grandparents always had imperial leather soap, and it always makes me think of that. Johnson's baby bath, because that was the first thing I showered with after I'd had my first baby, and it just brings that memory right back. Lovely things to be able to write about. The touch or taste of something can trigger an idea or a line in my head, and I've got many starts to songs and poems, and even play scripts from something like that, just a sentence that then develops itself on. And I suppose what I'm saying is be mindful of your senses, and if they bring you a creative or interesting thought or idea, then jot it down, even if you don't want to or aren't able at that point in a position to write anything longer at that point. I often get ideas come to me in the middle of something, anything, and I can't actually act on it at that moment. So as soon as I can, I'll just jot it down so that it's there and I can come back to it. My song, Frankly My Dear, was literally that one line for weeks before it turned into a song, and the more lyrics came to me. But I wrote it down when the line came to me. I can't remember what, something triggered it, and I can't remember what, and I wrote it down, and then when the time was right, turned it into a song. Oh, and finally, I always carry a notebook with me, more than one. I don't carry this one with me. This one's too heavy. This is my journal that I'm doing every day at the moment in lockdown. But I always carry at least one notebook, bits of paper. I have resorted to writing on the backs of envelopes sometimes, so I try and always carry at least one notebook and a pen. I always have loads of pens, pencils. Just carry, you only need one pen, one pencil, one notebook. Carry it with you. And I use that so that I can jot anything down that I might want to write. And because it can be really frustrating to be out somewhere at work in the middle of doing something, have a brilliant line of poetry, song or story idea come to you, and then by the time you get to write it down, it's just taken itself off into the ether and you can't remember it. I always think I'll remember it. I'll remember it when I get time to write it down, and often I don't. So I always try to do that. The other morning I woke up before my alarm with the line and the tune of a song in my head while I was still half asleep. And I didn't really want to get up at that point, and I was thinking, oh, I'll remember this later when it's time to wake up properly. But somewhere deep down I knew that I probably wouldn't. So I wrote the line into a doc on my phone, because it was by my bed with the alarm on. So I wrote it there, and that turned into a verse and a chorus. And then I sang it really quietly into my audio recorder, because the rest of the house was still asleep. So it was a bit rubbish really, but it just would trigger what tune was going on in my head. And I went back to sleep happy because I'd recorded it, and I noted it down. And then when I went to look at the song later, I had remembered the first line, but the rest of the verse and the chorus and the melody had all gone. So I was really glad I'd recorded them, and I'm still actually working on that song now. I'm at the point now of having put some guitar chords to it and starting to record it. If I hadn't done that, that song would have probably fallen by the wayside and I'd have forgotten it. So anything that you do, you want to send in, you know what to do by now, where to send it. And yeah, that's just some of the things I do. Try them out, use them, disregard them, find what works for you, have fun with them. Happy writing. Let's write writers.